Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Redgrave. I'm the founder and CEO of Amplify. As an Englishman in New York, actually, the kind of worst snowstorm since 1850 tried to stop me getting here, but I made it. And to watch the bell ring is why I made it here. So, a good start. I don't have any monkeys doing tricks for the next 6 minutes because I kind of don't really see the point. So, what I actually want to do is I'm going to address two issues kind of head on that I think impact a lot of people kind of watching and in the audience today. The first is social media, which we know is a huge opportunity, but it's a big challenge. It's proving to be really, really difficult. And the second is this idea of brand safety, which I know is becoming more and more kind of relevant as networks try to extend reach and as brands try to connect with their users in kind of new and interesting places. These are both big, big issues. And there's pain there. And fundamentally at Amplify, we believe the reason the pain is there is because it's very, very hard to understand the content. There's too much of it, getting more and more every single day. There's a lot of stuff out there. And it's no longer exclusively under your control, especially in social media environments, okay? You don't run the show anymore. And we're in a world where surely keywords just aren't enough anymore. And I think in terms of social media, here's the point. If you're a brand and you want to engage with people in a social media context, you must understand what is being discussed. Okay? In terms of brand safety, if you're an advertiser and you want to ensure brand safety, you've got to understand the meaning of the content where your ad is being placed. And that's why we created Amplify. And we describe Amplify as a web service platform that brings human understanding to content. Yada, yada, yada. What does that mean? Some marketing guy made that up. Well, let's think about what it actually means, okay? Amplify uses patented natural language processing technology to understand every word of every sentence and every paragraph that we see. And we understand, because we've read the content, we understand the topics that are being discussed, okay? What's going on in there? The brands, the people. We understand the sentiment. We really do understand sentiment. And I mean, I guess a lot of you have touched on this before. How can we really get our arms around that? Well, Amplify can get our arms around it. We understand the actions and intentions. We understand what people are doing. We understand what they're planning. And the attitudes and emotions that are inherent within content is exactly what Amplify extracts. And this is kind of, we call it the meaning platform. This is how it works. We basically take content from any source, right? So it can be from a CMS system, it can be spidered off a web page, it can be a speech-to-text conversion from video. It doesn't matter. If it's text-based content, we can feed it into Amplify. We amp the pages, and as a result of that amplification process, we end up with what we call 13 signals. And those 13 signals cover, all the detail of the meaning of what's been actually in the content. So, like I've just said, whether it's the topics or people, the intentions, the actions, we can look at age, gender. We can take a good spin at looking at how this content is written. Who's it actually appealing to, given the language that's being used and the way the actual piece has been written. And so let's just bring this into real life. Let's look at brand safety issue. Let's talk about it. Okay, it's kind of funny, actually, okay? This isn't very funny. And this really is very unfunny. And this is a serious issue for advertisers. They take it, brand managers take this stuff very, very seriously, and rightfully so. And if we look at this is an example from this morning. I grabbed this morning just for the presentation. This is on the New York Times site this morning. Here's an article, Hearings to Address Medical Helicopter Safety. You've probably seen it on TV, actually. It's kind of running as a main story. And if you were to look at the metadata, if you look at the page tags, or in fact where this content exists, okay, is this a business article? It's in business, right? It's a business article. It's about helicopters. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I wonder what the authors kind of actually tagged in the page tags. I wonder what metadata they've actually associated with the article. Now, if you amplify this article, you get kind of a different read on it because, we understand that, this is about accidents and it's negative. We've got a negative sentiment against that. It's about helicopters, that's kind of negative too, but there's some positive stuff here about safety board, about safety advocates, and there's some actions going on here. People are dying in crashes. Okay, that's the reality, that's what the article's about. But so much more than just metadata information. Let's look at social media as well, okay? Here's Tim, he's writing something. I spoke to Johnny last night. You know, baseball, 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 that's all he ever talks about, and I hate baseball. Okay, using keyword technologies, what are you going to get? This is about baseball, okay? Wrong. It's not about baseball. It's negative about baseball. It's positive about soccer. And there's an action here. This guy wants to go to a soccer game, right? Amplify can capture that. It can present it in an XML structure so that an ad server can make a direct, we can deliver a direct ad tag straight out of Amplify, telling DoubleClick what to include and exclude in terms of key values and categories. And you know, the whole point of Amplify is that we've packaged 20 years of natural language processing technology into a very, very simple web service platform. This is millions and millions of dollars worth of development into a very simple, easily accessible API, which anyone can use. We're on EC2, Amazon's EC2 cloud. We can scale indefinitely. It can go as big as anyone wants to go. You want to go to 3, 4 billion pieces of content, we can process that. And we can process it very, very quickly. And, you know, this is not a pipe dream. It's happening now. We announced our first deal. We actually launched in October, so we're kind of fresh out of the block, but we've done a deal with the guys at Lotame, who are doing brilliant things, monetizing social networks. This is real technology being used right now and delivering real difference. And, you know, my final kind of point is go to OpenAmplify.com, grab yourself an API key. As you can see here, you know, go build something, because there's so many uses for our technology. If you need to understand what content means to better manage and monetize your property, you need to amplify that content. And if you do so, we can add a ton of value to your core content management and monetization processes. Thanks for your time, guys.